Hello, I'm Dave Speakman. Welcome back to my beginner guitar course. In the previous two lessons on this course, we were looking at power chords, and the first lesson of those two was root 6 chords. I'll link that here. And with the root 6 chords, the power chords were rooted all on the 6th string, so the notes that they were named after started on string 6. In the lesson after that, we did root 5 chords. Here's that lesson here. And they started on the 5th string. Now in this tune, there's an easier way of playing Smoke on the Water, which is that you just play it like this. I'm sure you've learned how to play it like that. It's just these two strings. What we're going to do, we're going to play it in a slightly different key. It's a slightly different version of it. It's the way that Jack Black played it in School of Rock, that film, if you've seen that. Okay, so we're going to play it as power chords, you know. Now, as you can see, you know, we're actually moving now between root 6 and root 5 chords. Okay, so it's just written out as it is on the sheet. You can download the sheet from our website. They're all absolutely free. But we can create some exercises from this, just like we did with the previous two lessons. We can do exactly the same sort of thing with this song. So we can start just by tracing the roots out of the riff. Now this is something that I would always advise you to do if you're struggling to play a particular thing with power chords or maybe with bar chords or something. You can trace the roots out. Particularly useful if it's a faster riff with power chords and you just need to get your fingers around it, because really the first finger leads the way, doesn't it, with power chords? That it's going to play the riff essentially. Yeah. I always think Smoke on the Water is quite an interesting riff as well, because we've kind of got like the riff and then like the riff with a little altered note, the riff, and then it comes back down the riff to finish. So it's really, it's a terrific example of taking a very simple idea and extrapolating that out into a tune. And it's one of the reasons that it's such a memorable riff, really, is that it is dead simple. So we've got this. So we could just start by tracing out these roots here. Now notice that I'm still following the best practices, really, so I'm muting all the rest of the strings, so I could actually strum. So I can strum all 6 strings and still only get that riff. That'll take a little bit of practice to get that together, but as I've said in the previous two videos, getting this muting thing together is massive. If you can do it, it unlocks such a lot of guitar playing for you. And it also means that you can run around and dance around on the stage like an idiot without playing a load of bum notes, maybe. Cool, and then we could pick through the notes of the chord like we did with the last exercise. Cool, and then hopefully you should be able to play it. It's going to take a little bit of practice, and obviously I'm going through this quite quickly. This might take a week or so to get this together. If you're having any problems, do let me know in the comments below. I'll try and help you the best I can. It's just a case of getting these to make a clear sound. You know, if one of them's making a bit of a duff sound, don't let it go. Keep on top of it. Make sure that you make that one make a really clear sound before you move on. Usually the reason that students aren't making progress is either because they don't practice enough, obviously, or that they try and move on to the next thing before they thoroughly understand the thing that they're doing. So if you need to go back to a previous lesson and get some of those things together, get that together first. Make sure that you can play those first two tunes before you try and accomplish this one. Cool, let's hear it. Hopefully you found that interesting. Do subscribe, there'll be more content on things like this. I'm also doing other reviews of equipment that I've got and talking about things that I'm doing, building. Hopefully I'm going to do some vlogging as we get back into gigging as well, and explain sort of what happens on the sort of gigs that I'm doing. Great, hope everyone's well. Thank you very much, bye bye.